Morning, everybody. I wanted to talk with you today on our Facebook Live about what is an abundant life. Our verse today is the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. John 10:10. So, what does abundant life mean to you? Or another way of putting it is life to the full, uh, is one of the ways that's been translated. Does your life feel very abundant? Are there some parts that don't? And what is your role in those parts? Um, are they parts you have control over, in other words? Some things you can't control, and sometimes we need to look at our definition of abundant about whether or not um, we have the wrong definition of it, and that's part of the reason why we're not seeing it in our own lives. Obviously, it can also be a picture of eternal life, but is one of these areas that you can control, and there's some things you could be doing about it. Is one of those areas your health? Are there some things you could do to help you live a better, more joy filled life? Maybe more sleep, exercise. What is it for you? I want to encourage you to think about that. Think about that and think about, is there a particular area that God is asking you to do something different? Get out of your usual and actually take a step towards taking better care of yourself. Maybe it's drinking some more water today. And of course, sleep is always a good choice. So, um, instead of our typical recipe today, since I've been traveling, I'm actually going to give you a travel tip regarding, kind of lack of sleep and safety. Um, I don't recommend coffee for a number of reasons. It messes with your adrenals, is kind of the short answer to it. Um, and basically, when you're pulling from your adrenals constantly to keep going, then the adrenals are not as able to do other things that they need to do. And eventually, what is the nature with caffeine is that you keep needing more and more of it to have the same effect. It stops having the effect it did at the beginning. So I personally believe in using caffeine in small amounts, in moderation, only when you absolutely need it as much as possible. Um, my primary source of caffeine is actually white tea that we use to make the kombucha with. That is basically the lowest thing you can get on the caffeine index. And I don't drink large amounts of it at a time either, and certainly not close to bedtime. Um, I found myself with traveling over the weekend in a situation where uh, I got less sleep, more like 6 hours, and which really wasn't enough for driving 7 hours home. And I was going to need to use some things. I needed to do something to keep myself alert in the car. And so I I did have some kombucha with me. I drank that on kind of the first leg of my trip, because I was already feeling tired, and that was helping, but not quite enough. And of course, I had several more hours to drive, so it was like I really need something else. So I ended up, when I was stopped in Yuma, going into the store, and I'm trying to decide, okay, what can I get that's going to give me a moderate, healthy level of caffeine. And so I was looking at several options. I was looking at various ways